Democrats deceive and disrupt Epstein investigation. Representative James Comer said on Wake Up America. This is my second day in a row reporting on Rep Comer. He's been on fire as of late. Even though I haven't seen this video yet or know what he's going to say about it, about this Epstein investigation stuff. But Trump was right when he was calling it a hoax. Not a hoax that, not a hoax that what Epstein did never happened. That's not true. Epstein was a despicable individual that trafficked young girls on a private island. We all know that. But the hoax part is the Democrats using this to try to take out Republicans, try to take out Trump. But it actually backfired on them. So it's not working like they want it to work. And they're contriving things to try to make it look like Trump had something to do with all this when everyone knows they use their rational brain that Trump had absolutely nothing to do with Epstein. In fact, Epstein had a disdain for Trump. Epstein believed that Trump was actually an informant with the new NYPD to help bring him up on charges, to bring Epstein on the first charges. He always thought that Trump was the one that told on him. So all of these things that the Democrats are pushing is false. They're just using this as something to try to take out Trump. If they had any real evidence on Trump, if Trump really did have something to do with it, it would have came out years ago. We all know this. They've been trying everything, throwing everything, the kitchen sink at Trump to try to take him out, and it's not working. And this is another plot, another ploy to try to do this, even though it's backfiring and coming out on Democrats, because it's actually the Democrats that rub elbows with Jeffrey Epstein. It's actually the Democrats that were best friends with him, would send text messages during congressional hearings and stuff like that, and try to blame Trump for it. It's crazy. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip. We're going to hear what Representative Comer has to say about all this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There you'll find a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get right to the clip. Here we go.
On the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Kentucky Republican Congressman James Comer. Thanks for joining us this morning. I just want to start with your demand for the Clintons to both appear in person for their Epstein depositions. They're now delayed. Do you think they'll show up? If so, what will your committee grill them on most?
I'm going to answer and hear what he has to say. They're not going to show up. There's no way that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton will show up to the Epstein trial to be pressed on their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, because they would have to explain why they flew on his private jet so many times, why they, not only did they flew on a jet, because a lot of people flew on a jet, so that might not mean anything, but they went to the pedo island. They went to Epstein Island. Why were they there? What did they do when they were on Epstein Island? If they do happen to show, they're going to plead the fifth the entire time, but I don't think they're going to show. It's going to be a big hubbaloo, because I think they're not going to show. Then they're going to bring them up on contempt charges. They need to, and they should be arrested, just like they did what's his name? Steve Bannon, Banner. Just like they did with Steve Bannon, if they don't show up to these congressional hearings, because Democrats already set the precedent that you're allowed to arrest people and lock them up in prison if they don't comply. So the precedent has already been set by the Democrats. So if they don't show, they will be within their rights to charge them with contempt and arrest them and send Hillary and Bill both to prison. But let's hear what Comer has to say about all this. Here we go.
Well, first of all, I think they will show up. This is a congressional subpoena. It's a unique congressional subpoena. It was voted on in a bipartisan manner by the House Oversight Committee. So Democrats voted for this motion too. It will stand up in court. As you can imagine, our legal team's going back and forth with the Clinton legal team, but we do expect them to have to sit down and answer questions, or they will be held in contempt. And the types of questions we want to ask are simple questions that Donald Trump's asked every day. Anytime a picture surfaces or anytime the media has nothing else to report on and they want to attack Donald Trump, they start talking about Epstein. So Trump's answered thousands and thousands of questions about his relationship with Epstein and Maxwell. But Bill Clinton's never answered a single question. He's never had to sit down and do an interview. So we just have have lots of questions about what he saw and if he knew what kind of person Epstein was. Was he aware of what was going on with the victims and those types of questions?
I mean,
So you say
they admitted that Bill Clinton went to the island and was messing with a little girl. But here's the thing: if he do happen to show, I think they're going to plead the fifth the entire time. There's no way they're going to answer those questions under oath. There's no way.
they have to sit down, and I think it was supposed to be this week. Now it's going to be sometime in January. What form is that? Is that going to be in a public setting? Is it just with lawyers? Is it videotaped? Are we going to be able to see it one day, or is it just going to be transcribed and later released?
It'll definitely be transcribed. We're negotiating the details of the interview, and obviously a normal transcribed interview or deposition on the Oversight Committee. Members on the committee, Democrat and Republican, are allowed to ask questions. That's some of the things that are being negotiated right now. But at the end of the day, I do expect both Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton to have to testify under oath and answer simple, basic questions that everyone in America who's keeping up with this Epstein investigation would have. No one's accusing the Clintons of any wrongdoing, but one thing is certain. We know that Ghislaine Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. There weren't many people at that wedding, so there was a close relationship there.
Right.
We have some simple.
You just don't invite anybody to your daughter's wedding. That's absolutely correct. They must have been pretty close to be at the wedding.
Questions, and hopefully this will happen very soon.
Yeah, we know the deadline for the DOJ to release all of the Epstein files this Friday. Democrats wasting no time releasing information over the weekend that they thought would help them, including pictures that were public years ago that don't actually show President Trump doing what they tried to insinuate.
And it's so bad. It's so bad. Because they released the pictures that was already released in the first place, and then they blanked out the pictures of the women to make it look like he was surrounded by a bunch of girls because they blanked out the pictures. But when you look at the actual picture, these were grown women that Trump was around, not little girls. Like, they try to be slick like that. And we all know about the pageants and stuff that Trump sponsored. He knows tons of models and stuff like that because of the Miss Universe and all these other things. So he, of course, was always surrounded by beautiful women, never little girls. But they try to insinuate like it was little girls by blanking out their pictures. The Democrat Party is so deceitful, man. I don't understand how anyone in their right mind can be a Democrat when these people keep lying to your face like this.
Can you really trust anything they're doing about this release?
No, and it's been a real disappointment. This was voted in a bipartisan manner for the House Oversight Committee to conduct this investigation. The purpose of the investigation is to get some type of justice for the victims, as well as get the American people the truth. But all the Democrats have done have been deceive, disrupt, and it's just been a clown show by Robert Garcia and the Democrats on the Oversight Committee. They release pictures and they redact the face to make the public think that Donald Trump did something wrong when there's no evidence that Donald Trump did anything wrong. We've had witness after witness.
I'm about to say I can't believe they did that. But I can believe they did that. But I can't believe that their constituents and the people that voted for Democrats aren't holding them accountable for what they're doing. It's just like when Jasmine Crockett came out and was like, Republicans took money from Jeffrey Epstein, and it was a totally different Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, just happened to have the same name. And then she play it off and be like, well, I never said it was that Jeffrey Epstein. I said a Jeffrey Epstein. So what is the point of bringing it up if it wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein that everybody else in the world knew? Like, why would you even bring that up? And then try to play it. And like, they do things like this, and the people continue to vote for them. I don't understand it. Make this make sense to me, y'all. Chat, make this make sense. Why do people continue to vote for these that keep lying right to their face?
Testify that attorneys general in both parties have said that. So at the end of the day, the Democrats have proven they don't care about the victims.
No.
All they care about is trying to somehow hang something around Donald Trump's neck, and so far it's just backfired on the Democrats.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, you spoke of Democrats manipulating and changing and manufacturing things, so leads me right into my next topic. You're calling out the D.C. police chief, Pamela Smith, for manipulating the city's crime stats.
That's a whole nother topic. I already talked about that in the previous video. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Do you think the Democrats that actually voted for these people actually will wake up and notice that they're being lied to try to set up Trump to make Trump look bad? Do you think they will finally be offended and do something about it and vote Republican? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.